Hi, I'm Steve Thomas. Usually we're working on other people's old houses, but today we're going to be doing some work on my old house. Now the goal is to reduce the energy cost by 40%, and that is a tall order because the place was built in the 1800s. It's an old house. Now it's part of an initiative called Home Performance with Energy Star, which is a public service developed under the New York Energy Smart program. Also part of the initiative is low-interest financing to cover the cost of energy-saving upgrades. Now, all the contractors on the job site today are what's called certified home performance contractors. And what that means is they've been through a certification program developed by the Building Performance Institute. Now, I've owned this house for 15 years, and I've done a lot of work to it. And I think it's pretty energy efficient, but I've never put it to the test. So, let's go find out. First thing we're going to do is test the envelope of the building. That's the roof, sidewalls, and foundation for leaks. Because the first rule of home performance testing is test your way in and test your way out. And to do that, we're using a device called a blower door, which Steve is really just a big fan, right?
Right. We're sucking the air out of your house. We're measuring it with this device, and it also is accentuating that air movement so we can actually see the leaks.
Now, you ran a full battery of tests earlier. What did you come up with?
Well, Steve, you've got a problem. House this size, well insulated, well sealed, should be about 2,500 cubic feet per minute. You've got 4,800.
Wow. More
More than twice what it should be.
No wonder my heating bills are so high.
Right.
So where are the leaks?
Well, we're going to have to go find them.
Let's go. So we're headed to the attic first. How come?
Well, this is really the place with some of the worst air leaks. Think about it. Hot air is rising, it's coming up here, it's going to find every crack and hole to get out of.
So what are the worst culprits in your experience?
Right here, recessed light. You can see the
Look at that.
see the air pouring in. It's like a hole right through your ceiling to your attic.
And that's just one fixture. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them on this floor alone. That must equate to a hole about this big.
Yeah, probably have about 2 square feet of holes.
Wow. What else do you look for?
Well, right here, this is an attic door, right into
Yeah, we just use it for storage.
Well, most people don't go in and out of their attic very often, so they don't realize that it has to be tight. Feel the air coming in.
Yeah, it's leaking like a sieve.
Steve, here, come here. I found another leak.
Oh no, not another one.
Yeah. See, you feel that air coming in?
Oh man, it's racing through those holes.
Yep.
Look, I don't get it. We're on the second floor here. This is an interior wall. It doesn't even face the outside of the building. So where's all this cold air coming from?
What's happening is, see those pipes? They're going into the wall. They're going into a chase or a cavity that goes all the way up and down the house, bringing cold air in. They're uninsulated and unsealed.
All right. All right, Steve, what's the next step in the analysis?
Well, what we're going to try to do is see how well your insulation is working, whether it's performing. And one way we do it is to use this thermal imaging camera, which takes a picture of temperature.
So I see black and white. What does that signify?
Well, the black area is cold,
Uh-huh.
and those are areas where your insulation isn't working as well as it should.
Wow. Now this whole south wall of the house has big bands of black. Does that indicate that whole stud bays were missed in terms of insulation?
Exactly.
Well, that would explain why this room's always cold.
Yep. And there are other areas of your house where it has the same problem.
For the last couple of hours, we've been chasing down leaks with a smoke stick. We've been scanning the outside walls with an infrared camera. And frankly, I'm a little bit depressed, Steve. The house leaks a lot more than I thought it did.
Right.
I'm convinced that we have to upgrade the insulation package. My question is, will it pay off?
A lot of customers ask that question. We have a software package. We can put the information in about your energy use and the upgrades that we're going to do to see if it makes sense and what the results are. As you can see, we've taken your energy use and put it into the computer, and there's a graph of your energy use this last year.
So we can see these red bars month by month. What do they represent?
That's your heating usage.
And the blue part of it?
That's hot water and cooking.
And what was the total for last year?
Last year you spent almost $1,800,
Wow.
$1,500 of it for heating alone.
So after the insulation upgrades, what do you think I'll spend?
Well, as you can see, the air sealing and insulation upgrades will save almost $400.
So that's like 25%, which is pretty significant.
Right, and it'll pay itself back in about 4 years.
All right. So that covers the insulation package. That keeps the heat in the building. What about the boiler? Any savings to be had there?
Right. There, I thought you might ask that question. So we modeled, you have about a 15-year-old boiler, which is pretty inefficient. We modeled going to a high efficiency system, save an additional 15%.
So that's about 40% overall.
Right. And
that gets my attention.
Exactly. And even better, those measures can qualify for low-interest Energy Star financing. It's not just for improvements in your heating, air conditioning, and insulation. You can use the loan to purchase Energy Star appliances like clothes washers and dishwashers. They all save up to 50% of the energy of conventional appliances. Best of all, certified building performance contractors can do all the corrective work you choose to have done, just like we're going to do in your house.
All right, that's pretty convincing, Steve. Watch your head, Steve. Low ceilings down here. Down in the basement is heating contractor Rich Bilo and his son Brian. Hey, Rich, good to see you.
Hi, Steve.
So you put this boiler in 15 years ago, and now you want me to rip it out and replace it with a new one?
Yes, I do, Steve. If your boiler is 10 years old or older, you could realize up to 30% fuel savings by changing it. This boiler, when it was brand new, ran 70% efficient. Given its age, it's probably running about 60% efficient now, which means 40 cents of every dollar goes right up the chimney.
So what do you want to replace it with?
We're going to replace it with this piece of equipment.
Wow, it is very impressive. What makes it so special?
We have 3 inches of insulation around the boiler, a computerized control that will meter the amount of heat that goes into the house, just enough to keep it comfortable, and a sophisticated combustion chamber that's cast iron and stainless steel, bring it up to fire quickly. And the flue gases will pass into the chamber and back out and over the cast iron exchanger to give it a double pass.
Overall efficiency on this one?
With the computerized control in that chamber, about 87%.
Wow. What about hot water?
We're going to eliminate that standalone water heater that we put in some time ago.
Well, it still works fine. Why eliminate it?
Well, Steve, what happens with these standalone units is this burner system is running all the time to keep you hot water. And you can eliminate a lot of that use by putting in an integrated system like Rich's.
Integrated system, Rich?
What we have here, Steve, is what's called an indirect water heater. It's a stainless steel tank with a stainless steel coil inside of it that gets piped to your heating boiler. The hot water from the boiler heats your domestic hot water. So you have one piece of heating equipment to heat your home and your domestic hot water.
All right. When are you going to make the switch over and fire off the new boiler?
Brian and I should have it ready to go by 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
That's wonderful. Gentlemen, thank you.
My pleasure.
Not everybody has a hot water system like I do. There's a lot of forced hot air systems out there. So how do you upgrade those?
Well, there's really 2 things. One is on the equipment side, the new hot air furnaces have made a lot of the same advances in technology that Rich showed you with your boiler.
With the computer controls and so on.
Exactly. And the second is a simple problem, and that is the duct system that brings the hot air from the furnace to the house. There's leakage, air leakage around each of these seams where they fit together.
Yeah, you can actually see a gap right here. So how do you fix this gap?
Well, there's 2 ways. One is with this mastic that can go right on that seam and close it up.
Just goop it up and that seals it. What if you can't reach it? What if it's buried in a wall?
Well, there's a new piece of equipment that can inject sealant into the duct and seal it from the inside. And while the technicians are in the house, they'll do a free carbon monoxide test to make sure the house is safe.
And so it begins. We've got 2 insulation contractors here today. One of them is going to be blowing this expanding polyisobutene foam. That'll be great for certain parts of the house. The other one's going to be blowing in this stuff, which is ground up newspaper treated with a fire retardant called cellulose. Now remember that cold wall we saw with the infrared camera? That's this gable end that we're looking at, and they're going to pay special attention to that. Well, we're beginning to wrap it up. Insulation is done on the 2nd and 3rd floor and up in the attic. All those pipe chases have been sealed. Jim's finishing off down here in the basement. And look at this. The old boiler's gone. The new one is in. From the sounds of it, it's even running.
Finished with our tests, and you're going to love this boiler, Steve.
Well, you guys are men of your word, and you're an hour ahead of schedule. Thanks very much. Great job. Hey Steve, I thought I'd find you up here. So you've made your final sweep through the house with your infrared camera,
Right.
tracking down all those problem spots in the insulation. Do we do okay?
Yep, we did real well. I think we got them all. Matter of fact, remember that wall that was so dark?
Sure I do.
Take
it's
a
the
look.
south wall of my son's room. Wow. No more black bands.
I think you're going to find the house is more comfortable, this room in particular.
Great. You ready for the final test?
Let's go.
So how's it looking?
Good. This is a preliminary test. I want to run a full battery of tests later, but it looks like we're going to get our 40%.
Great. So that means I'll save quite a bit of money on energy, and the house should be a lot more comfortable too.
Right.
Now this is all part of an initiative called Home Performance with Energy Star. Tell me about that.
Well, it's a network of contractors that are certified by the Building Performance Institute, and they'll come out and do your test.
Is there a fee for the test?
Yes, but the fee for the test is deducted from the cost of the work that you do.
And then who does the work?
Same contractor that does the test.
Do they warranty their work?
Absolutely.
Great. What about financing?
Yes, low-interest Energy Star financing is available to get the work done.
It seems like a no-brainer to me, Steve.
It's a great way to cut your energy costs.
Great. So how do people get in touch with you folks?
Well, they can call our 800 number, and we'll send someone out to talk to them.
Steve, thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Okay.
40% off my heating bill. I like that. Now you have to remember that we did air sealing, insulation, and we changed out the boiler, and that's what gives us that 40% figure. But you don't have to do everything all at once. The point is, get your house tested, develop a plan, and then you can implement it over time. All you have to lose are your high heating bills. Now in reality, we did all the work on this house in 2 days. So the real heroes around here are the contractors. Gentlemen, great job. Thank you.
This special initiative is a public service developed under Governor Pataki's New York Energy Smart program, sponsored by the New York State Energy Research and Development Authority. It's all about bringing New Yorkers this new 21st century technology of whole house performance testing and treatment to help reduce energy costs, increase comfort, and help protect the environment. So whether you want your home performance tested or need a home improvement contractor to upgrade your heating system, add insulation, or to seal those air leaks, be sure they're certified by the Building Performance Institute. BPI is a national resource for building science that sets the standards for assessing and improving your home's energy performance. You can call us for a list of BPI certified contractors in your area. Just call 800-222-0050. Thanks.